absurd seems completely sane.
Oh, did you hold stocks long overnight? Seriously, again, I have to start each video with, I don't know shit, and I don't know where the market's going to go today or next week, but I do know, I keep mentioning, there's no reason to hold stocks long or short overnight ever again, because there's so much action intraday. What do you need to take any overnight risk? Now, here's a question from somebody, that's me. I'm going to ask a question that I probably should know the answer to, but I'm still kind of puzzled by it every time it happens. These gap ups and these gap downs. Oh, let me preface that by, the markets are fake. They're fake going up. They're fake going down. It's just a game. It's not supposed to make sense. It's never going to make sense except for the VWAP and the reversals that make sense, because yesterday we had two intraday reversals. First, we had it to the downside, where we shorted the QQQ and we bought the UVXY. Then, on the way back up, we bought the QQQ and we bought the SVXY because the UVXY was going down. That's really basically what we do. I don't even look at stocks anymore. But here's the thing. So, transparency, liquidity, and all that shit. So the markets, right? The idea of that they're this liquid place where you could easily sell your stocks, right? So let's say you bought some QQQ the other day, right? And you're shitting in the bed, and next thing you know, we have this monster rally yesterday, and you think, all right, maybe the coast is clear. And then you wake up to this shit show with the QQQ, I don't know, right back down to 102. I think they were 104.98. Now, I'm not going to say that I sold at the highs, because I was out at 102.80 yesterday and 103.20, and I just watched in absolute amazement at the market continuing to rally. But then into the close, obviously we had a little bit of sell-off, because that was warranted with the market. The Q's basically rallying 4 points off the lows. All right, let me stop talking. Talking about the gaps. So you bought the Q's, and you wake up and the stock's down 2 points. Now, the idea of the stock market in general is that you buy a stock and you want it to go up, and then you could sell it. And the idea is that more buying than selling makes the stock go up. More selling than buying makes the stock go down. But there needs to be selling for the stock to go down, right? So you're sleeping somewhere in China and around the world. The markets are crashing, and you got to wake up to your stock being down 2%, or whatever stock you own being down, and there was nothing you could do about it. Now, I don't know whether or not you could go out and sell GoPro in Shanghai and offset the loss of your US stock. I'm not sure if you could do that. But in theory, if the market's closed, there couldn't be any selling on, let's call it XYZ. But XYZ opens up down 2% the next day. So who was actually doing the selling, right? You didn't do it. You were sleeping. Your broker didn't do it. He was sleeping. Most people in the United States weren't doing it. We were sleeping. But we got to wake up in the morning to a market that's getting absolutely hammered. And you know what? You didn't sell. You probably don't know anybody that sold. So who sold? The market is supposed to be this liquid environment where there's buying and selling, liquidity. You can buy and sell whenever you want. But proving that the market is one big manipulated piece of shit, you understand? We get these gaps where 85% of the move that maybe you wanted to participate in. Now, this is going to lead me to my next comment. Gaps will be filled, and that's why trading is a lot of fun on days like this, because when we gap down, we usually have a little bit more of a sell-off. And then we rally, and when we gap up, usually we try to rally at the beginning of the day, and then we sell off. Even on good days, even in bull markets or bear markets, you'll still have these called gap filling because reality starts to set in. They have to, whatever it is. Oh, there is no reality on Wall Street. But don't you find it to be unfair? So let's start a petition, because if we're going to continuously gap up and gap down, just leave the markets open 24 hours and make it fair for everybody, right? You want to participate? No, you got to stay awake forever. Because right now, the best time to trade is 8 p.m. when the futures are open up and Shanghai's there. 8:15, 8:30. Then 11 o'clock, we usually have some other move. Then 3:30 in the morning, we have another move. And then that 5 or 6, when we start to wake up, we have even another move. Maybe, I don't know. But it's unfair, right? Wouldn't you like to participate? But again, the premise here, right? What I'm trying to make point here is, who sold? Who sold? I know guys that bought the QQQ yesterday and glorious move. They sold on the way up like we did. But some of these guys decided to hang on to some. And they're waking up to an absolute beatdown. Obviously, it doesn't matter monetarily. I'm talking about percentage-wise. And they're opening up their eyes. Holy shit, what was I thinking holding this shit overnight? So, unless we all have a fair chance to sell, either leave the markets open for 24 hours a day, or there should not be any gap allowed. You want to leave the markets open from, I think they officially open. I know you could get orders done at like 6 a.m. You can get orders done probably, usually till 8 p.m. on most systems. Most systems are 8 p.m. shut off and 8 a.m. they come back on. Those should be the closing prices. And then, you know what? At least give everybody a fair chance. So let's say 8 a.m. comes along and China's crashed. At least give everybody a moment where, just like Ticketmaster, right? You want to get tickets to your favorite concert. So what do you got to do? You got to be ready at 9:30 or 10 o'clock when they go on sale and start hitting buttons and putting in your credit card number and refreshing and using different computers. At least give everybody a fair chance to get out of their shitty stocks or get into their shitty stocks, whichever it is, because they're all shitty. You do realize that. Just let me make maybe you don't know. And I've been doing these videos for 7, 8 years. Majority of the videos started out with me getting my ass kicked because I was shorting the market. Then I became this insane bull because I believed that the government, the United States government, took over the market in 2009, and there was really no reason to fight it. And then I started fighting it anyway, somewhere in 2012, and then I gave up fighting, and here we are today. All right? The market, everything that you know negative about the market, everything that you've heard, every conspiracy, every single one, every book that you've read, every dark corner negotiation, every manipulation, every fraud, it's all true. It's all true. Brokers, traders, analysts, bankers, criminals, all of them. Wait till you watch The Big Short. You're just going to get all angry again because nobody went to jail and everybody got paid and then they're getting paid again. And it's guys like the normal people that if you don't want to believe, oh, that's just what goes on. No, it's bullshit. That's why it sucks that I root for the systemic fall of it all. But if it was all to fail, then where are we? Right? Then I'm running around with this hat on, shotguns and knives and guns, and my kids were starving out in the street. No electricity, no heat. Eventually it's going to be a really awful situation for most people. I would love to see the world burn. But personally, I'm sure my kids don't. You take their iPhones away, they'll be shit in the bed. Imagine no electricity or heat and we had to go out hunting and killing. I'm prepared mentally to do that. I'm not too sure my kids are. My wife is also. She'll bite your fucking head off. But we have to allow these criminals to run the system because we need the system to survive so we can all survive as a species. So for all you doomsday guys, and again, rooting at the end of days is here, remember, I hope you have a plan, because if it shit does hit the fan, what are you gonna do when you can't get any money out of the bank? Your measly 20 grand that you were gonna live off is locked up or at zero now. Oh, you didn't think about that, and your gold and silver ain't worth shit because nobody has any money and we don't even have any monetary value for anything. It'll all be about the wild, wild west. Not even the wild west. It'd be like Armageddon, Mad Max, which now I know society is doomed, all right? I'm part of its destruction. I know. Bill Cosby's a rapist. But if that didn't blow my mind already, Mad Max, that new Mad Max movie, is up for Academy Awards. This movie, and I've seen some bad movies in my life, Cloud Atlas, that movie where they were in space with that handsome fella, Interstellar, those were some bad movies. Mad Max, not as bad as Cloud Atlas and Interstellar, but right there. This movie, for all the action and blowing up and killing and slaying and Charlize Theron, this was one of the worst movies ever made. Top 10 worst movies ever made, and this is getting up on... This is beating out other movies. People are getting awarded for Mad Max, Thunder Road, whatever the hell they called it this time. And our African American friends, our black friends are up in arms that there are no African American candidates for any of these awards, back black, and then maybe it's because that's just the way the voters this year felt. I didn't see any movies. I watch them after. I don't know. Will Smith did a great job. I don't know about Creed. I heard good things. Straight Outta Compton, awesome movie. Was it Oscar worthy? What is Oscar worthy? Oscar worthy to me was Silence of the Lambs. That movie was awesome. When you forget that these people are acting, that's when they're doing a great job. So I forget Hannibal Lecter's name right now, his real name, but that was some riveting shit. That's Academy Award stuff. Now I saw, if this guy did a great job impersonating Ice Cube, I don't know if it's Oscar worthy. I don't know how difficult it is to impersonate Ice Cube, but give me a psycho serial killer, genius, crazy character. That's Oscar-worthy shit. So maybe black people didn't deserve the award, but we are going to talk about this now for the next 3 months. How there are no black people getting any awards and none of the black films got any awards. Now, this is not a racist tirade here. This is just an indication of our society. Let's pay attention to something more important than who gets an Academy Award. We still got terrorists going on and troops around the world getting killed. We don't know who the hell's going to be president. We got a psychopath Trump and a robot Cruz. I think he's trying to channel JFK. Ted Cruz. That is the guy. I like what he's saying, but he's too annoying to listen to. Awful. Awful. Trump, I understand what he's saying. You want to rah, 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 but we're not building a wall, and we're not going to outlaw Muslims, and we're not going to do any of that stuff that he says, but it does sound great when he says it. I don't think he'd be the greatest negotiator with foreign dignitaries. I don't know. I don't see it. And do we want Clinton? So I don't know. I don't know what I'm leading up to, but you think I knew I know what I would leading up to, a Bernie Sanders or me for president. So I'm sorry. Now, to the Academy Awards, Oh man, you're gonna take some shit, right? Oh, we're gonna be hearing that shit forever. Listen, I'm sure if Morgan Freeman was in a movie, he would have got an award this year. Right? Denzel Washington, Morgan Freeman. So I think I've heard that they snubbed the Will Smith. I don't know. I didn't see the movie. But you know what? It is what it is. It's not a racist thing. I hope it's not. I hope they're not sitting there like, well, he did a really good job, but he's a black man, so... So I understand NWA not getting awards. I mean, it was good. I'm not sitting there, wow, that was one of the best movies I ever saw in my life. Like when you saw Training Day, that was a different movie. It was just phenomenal. And it got some awards. I don't know. But we got to make fun of something. We got to argue about something, right? So, I'm not going to say we picked bottoms or tops yesterday, but just incredible stuff. Increíble. And again, let me just mention again, I don't own stocks. I don't plan on owning stocks. I'm not going to own stocks. And you know what? Even when the market's going up, I'm not going to own stocks. This is 1999 all over again, all right? My position now is I have to increase the size of these trades. Trading 200-300 shares of UVXY for 50 cents, it's just not really cutting it. I mean, it's nice that we could generate some money, and it's nice that if everybody follows my lead, everybody makes money. But now it's got to be about, I need to take my game up a little bit more here. Because if we are we on the precipice of the downfall of society, shit, UVXY to 2,000, right? No, fuck it. UVXY to $487,000, Mr. Jones. If you loved it at 6,673, you got to love it here at $42 a share, Mr. Jones. Buy all you can. Buy all you can. All right. See, I tried to stop the video right there. That would have been perfect timing, but I hit the wrong button. Button.